Hi everybody, it's the Nerd Guy Reviews and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be ranking all 12 upcoming Marvel movies from my excitement level, what we know, how I feel about them so far, how excited I am. I did a similar video last week but for the Marvel TV shows. You can check that out, there will be a link in the description. And before we get into the video, keep in mind we upload videos Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time, so make sure to check every week for some more videos. Please be sure to subscribe if you're not already and leave a like, it would really help us out. And just a disclaimer, I really enjoy the Marvel movies and I'm excited for all 12 of these movies. So don't be surprised if one of your favorites ranks pretty low. Thank you guys for watching and I'll begin the video. So in last place, 12th place, is the Eternals movie. We really don't know much about this movie. It was already supposed to come out months ago. We don't have a trailer. I'm not very familiar with any of the characters from the comics, and not very familiar with the cast. I really couldn't tell you anything about this movie except for a couple things that we know, but really very little has been announced, and it just doesn't really sound that interesting. On the other hand, I also don't know how this is going to tie in to any other Marvel movies. I don't think there's any characters crossing over except for maybe Thanos, but he's dead now, so that doesn't matter. So I don't see how this film is going to shape the future of the MCU, and I don't really think it's going to be that great to begin with, but I could be wrong. In 11th place is Captain Marvel 2. Now, I, like many others, was not a big fan of the first Captain Marvel, mainly attributed to the way they handled the character of Captain Marvel. I just thought they did a very poor job establishing her personality and power level. Obviously, she's way too overpowered, so I think they're going to have a hard time coming up with an actual threat for her. And I am hoping that they can find a way to improve this character in the movie, maybe make her less powerful, make her less likable, give her more personality, more flaws, character traits. I am not a huge fan of Brie Larson, but I don't hate her, and I actually do really like her in some other non-MCU movies. So I think that she's good enough to turn the character around, and I guess they're also getting a new director, and there's actually two people who directed the first Captain Marvel, which might be attributed to how kind of poor most of the decisions were. So I think this movie has the potential to make Captain Marvel more interesting. On the downside, though, my favorite things from the first Captain Marvel were Nick Fury, Talos, and the Skrulls, and it turns out that it was just announced there's going to be a TV show with all those elements called Secret Invasion, which I am very excited for. You can check out my video on the TV shows. So, pretty much all my favorite things about the first Captain Marvel is going to be in a TV show, so that really doesn't leave me that excited for this movie at all, because nothing I'm interested in about the first one is going to be continued, and I just really don't like the character of Captain Marvel that much. Number 10 is going to be the Blade movie. We've had very little announced about this movie. All we really know is that Mahershala Ali is going to play Blade, and I think he is a good actor. I think he'll do a great job. I really like him in a lot of movies. I think this movie is going to promise a lot of great action, and it'll be a good origin story, and we still don't know that much, so I can't rank it too high. Next up, number 9 is ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, I wasn't super excited when they first announced this film. ShangChi isn't a character I'm at all familiar with, but I think this is going to be a great film for action. It looks like it's promising some of the best action sequences in the MCU and a different style to what we've seen before. It's been described as like the Marvel version of Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon, which could be really interesting. On top of that, the director, Daniel Cretton, is an amazing director. He directed a film called Just Mercy, which was one of my favorite films of the past few years, and he just did an amazing job delivering emotional moments and carrying into this film. I think he's going to do a great job, and that really boosted up the movie for me when I heard that he had been announced. I also think the actor playing ShangChi will probably do a good job, and I'm excited to see what he does. Hopefully, we get a trailer soon, and that'll probably make me even more interested in this movie. Number 8 is Black Widow. I think Scarlett Johansson is a great actress, and Black Widow is one of my favorite Marvel characters. I think she's deserved a movie for a long time, and she should have gotten a movie way before Captain Marvel did. I'm also really interested in the character of Taskmaster. I think he has an interesting origin story and could be a great villain. Also, you get David Harbour as Russian Captain America Red Guardian, which just sounds really fun and another thing I'm excited for. On the downside, though, Black Widow's dead now. I don't know how this is going to move the MCU forward, and I think it's going to be a fun action film, but it just feels unimportant in the grand scheme of things. So, unless they can find some way to tie it into the MCU, maybe have Taskmaster set up Thunderbolt, something like that, but as it stands, this is kind of just a movie that really isn't going to go anywhere. It's really just a standalone movie in the greater MCU. Number 7 is going to be the Fantastic Four movie. The only thing we really know about this movie is that it will be a Marvel film. It will come out in the next couple of years, and it will be directed by John Watts, who directed the recent Spider-Man movies. But the Fantastic Four I just think, are a solid choice for a good movie. It was one of the first teams of heroes Stanley created, and I just love stories about team dynamics. I think that's why the Avengers work so well, and that's why I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so much. And so much of the character dynamics and conflicts that we've gotten in the Avengers movies, the Fantastic Four kind of stirred all of that theme of like infighting, led to Civil War. All that stuff is ideas that the Fantastic Four started. They haven't announced the casting yet, but Marvel has always been great at casting, and I think that we'll get really good actors. Probably John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, which are both really awesome actors. The Fantastic Four, I think, is going to be a great movie. It's going to kind of be like an Avengers movie, and I'm just super excited to see what they can pull off with this. Number 6, Black Panther 2. Black Panther 1 was just an amazing movie. It was a success both at the box office and with critics, and I thought it was one of the greatest movies Marvel's put out. Unfortunately, Chadwick Boseman sadly passed away in August, and they're not going to recast him, which I am very glad about. But it's going to make a sequel difficult. We still have Ryan Coogler directing it, and we still have most of the main cast returning, which is going to be great, and I still think it's going to be a good movie, regardless of who ends up taking the throne, whether it be Shuri, M'Baku, Killmonger, Okoye, whoever. But I think that this movie would probably be ranked higher if Black Panther just continued as planned. Again, it really sucks that Chadwick Boseman died. It's just terrible. And I honestly don't care about as much as the movie getting made than I do that it's very sad that he passed. So just a disclaimer, I'm not like only sad because we won't get as many Black Panther movies. That doesn't mean anything. Number 5, Ant-Man 3, Quantumania, I think. Now, the first 2 Ant-Man movies are really good, and I think they're super underrated. I love how in the MCU we have all these big giant stories, different planets, gods, aliens, all this stuff, and then you can just have a more grounded, smaller scale movie, and the Ant-Man movies are just like heist films, and it makes it really good. The first Ant-Man was a great origin story, and the second one, while many people said it was stupid and unimportant, I love that after the crazy climax to 10 years that was Infinity War, we got a much smaller scale, more entertaining film, and I just think that was a really good decision. Paul Rudd does a great job. Michael Douglas and Michael Pena also very good as well. And we haven't gotten too much announced about this movie. I guess they're going to do more stuff with the Quantum Realm. Kang the Conqueror has been announced as a villain. So the Ant-Man movies are just what I would consider to be safe films. They're not going to be the best, grandest, biggest film, but they're always going to be good, entertaining films, and that's why I'm really excited. Number 4 is Thor 4 Love and Thunder. I liked Thor Ragnarok a lot. I thought it was a great reinvention of the Thor character. And Taika Waititi is back to direct this one, which is a good sign. Also, you're getting Christian Bale to play Gore the God Butcher, which also sounds really interesting. And however this movie ties into the Loki TV show is also something I really want to see. On the downside, however, the choice to bring Natalie Portman back as Jane Foster and make her Lady Thor just sounds ridiculous to me. I think Natalie Portman is a fine actress, but I just didn't like her character in the first 2 Thor movies. And the reason Thor Ragnarok was so much better than they were, I think it was didn't spend so much time on Earth, because Thor is a god, he's a cosmic character, and I want to see more of that. I don't want to have them keep going back to Earth. I've seen plenty of Earth in the Marvel movies. I want to go to space and stay there. That's way more interesting to me. And I don't see the point of Lady Thor. I just think it's a dumb idea. It's just, why don't you just create original heroes instead of making the same hero but as a female? That just doesn't make sense to me. So this movie would probably be ranked higher if that decision hadn't been made. So yeah, I don't think she'll fit in with Taika Waititi's sense of humor and the style of Thor Ragnarok. Number 3 is going to be Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, Doctor Strange, the first movie was fine, and as a character, Doctor Strange was good in that movie, but after seeing him in Infinity War and Endgame, he's so entertaining. He's in his prime as the Sorcerer Supreme, and he was just, every second he was in those 2 films was just some of the greatest stuff. So now that he's an established character, he's powerful, he's interesting, I'm way more excited for this film than, and I think this is going to be a lot better than the first one. Also, there's going to be a ton of crossover stuff with WandaVision, with Spider-Man 3, and all that stuff just sounds interesting, and you bring in the multiverse, and you have the power to literally do anything, bring in the X-Men, bring in the Fantastic Four, bring in the Spider-Verse stuff, bring in different versions of the Avengers. All that stuff is just great. I can't wait to see the multiverse on screen. And you also have Sam Raimi directing it, and he's just a really great director, especially with superhero films. I think he's going to pull it off great. It's also described to be a horror film. I don't expect it to be super scary, but that still sounds interesting. So our runner-up is going to be Spider-Man 3. Far From Home was a good movie. It was a solid sequel to the first one, solid sequel to Endgame, but the ending raised so many questions, and it was probably one of the biggest cliffhangers we've seen in the MCU so far. John Watts is coming back, and the first 2 Spider-Man movies have both been really good, and I have no doubt that this one will also be good. Great action, great humor. The characters, every character, even the side characters, are all really good. And then all this stuff we've heard about the Spider-Verse, about Jamie Foxx's Electro coming back, Alfred Molina as Doc Ock coming back, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and so many others. All those rumors sound so interesting, and I just cannot wait to see what's going on. We really don't know much about this film, and I actually kind of enjoy that because I like how much we get to speculate, and there's so many different theories about how things could happen. So without a doubt, this is going to be a really good film, and I just cannot wait for it. But easily coming in number 1 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The first 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, are amazing movies. They're hilarious, but they also have really emotional moments, and the Guardians of the Galaxy are just a great team. It's been over 3 years, almost 4 years, since the last one came out, and we're still gonna have to wait at least a couple more years for the third one to come out. This long wait just makes it so more anticipated for me, and I've just been excited for this film for so long. Also, because they have so much time to work on it, I don't think that they're gonna make a lot of mistakes, because what we've seen with a lot of films, particularly the Star Wars sequels, if you don't have enough time to write a good script and establish good characters, then your movie is probably gonna suck. So I'm glad that we have enough time to work on this film. We've been in, I guess, post-production for years, and I'm just really excited for this film. In the first film was about all the characters meeting each other and becoming a team. The second film I thought was also very good and gave the characters more depth and conflict, which was really good. And now I think this film is going to add on to what the second film did and give them even more depth. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I think it's possible we could see these characters again, but there's definitely going to be a sense of finality to it. And I would love to see all these character arcs wrapped up. I think you could tell some really great stories there, especially I think with Rocket and Star-Lord. So overall, I think this is just going to be a hilarious, heartfelt movie that I've been excited for so long, so easily it comes in at number 1. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Next week, I think my video for the week will probably be a review of the first WandaVision episode. So stay tuned for that. I'll try to get it up Friday as soon as possible. I'm really excited for that episode. So please, again, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It would be really awesome if you guys could do that. The support is appreciated so much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next Friday with another video.